What's going on, guys? It's Kyle. Welcome to the Stock Goat YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering the SoFi stock, and it has been another volatile week. We can see today we got some PPI data that didn't come in as good. SoFi ended up being down like 4% at one point in the day. So it seems like every time this stock builds up a run, it always gets hit by some type of macro related news. Nothing correlated to the company. It's just the fact of every time there's a percentage change in those interest rate cuts potentially happening, SoFi gets hammered because SoFi is a rate sensitive stock. But understand, we are getting very, very close to breaking past this $24 level. And then we have two more levels after that, the 25 and the 28. Once you hit $28, that's the all-time highs of the SPAC merger before it even became SoFi. So once we hit $28, we're in price discovery mode. There's no telling how high the stock can go. What is it going to take to get there? I believe the management team is trying to get the stock to the $25 level without releasing any news. It's trying to let the market make its way up because SoFi is waiting to pile drive everything they have all at once, which is the crypto launch, the level 1 options. We've closed 10 Galileo deals. They haven't given us one deal. The cash coach optimization. I think SoFi is just waiting to time everything around rate cuts. So it's going to be very hard for the stock to move up much further without the management team coming in to give us a boost. But it looks like that's what they're trying to do right now because we only got a couple months left into the year and they still haven't given us anything. So understand, guys, we're getting very close, a couple of weeks out to those interest rate cuts, and that is exactly what the stock needs to fuel this baby over $28 all-time high. We got a ton of great data points for you guys today. The institutional ownership, all of the updates are coming in for Q2, and it is absolutely bullish beyond belief. We got about 6 out of the top 10 whales that have come in. We're going to be giving all of those to you today. Be sure to smash the like button, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the video. All right, you can see the SoFi stock right now. We hit about $24 for 2 days in a row, and then we got the bad report and the stock pulled back again about 2.5% on the day with the after hours. And all it was the wholesale prices rose 0.9% in July, much more than expected. Excluding food and energy prices, the core PPI rose 0.9%. The forecast was 0.3%. Excluding food, energy, and trade services, the index was up 0.6%, the biggest gain since March 2022. But the overall market actually ticked up a little bit higher, so just some pretty strange data. But, companies like SoFi, other fintech stocks, Upstart, Firm, we're also getting hit today. Let's take a look at this, guys. I said SoFi is about to launch to Galaxy Land of no resistance. $25 level and the $28 level, it's game over after that, okay? We have no resistance above 28. There won't be one shareholder of SoFi in the red once we get to that level. Once we break that $28 level, guys, we got to push hard and hopefully get to 35, 40 very, very fast before some resistance builds up. Last night I said this is what you've been waiting for. The algos and short sellers can't defeat us anymore. Diamond hands, $45 price target. We got rate cut, rocket fuel heading our way, 34 days. This is some big, catalysts we have, and I believe SoFi is going to time the crypto launch, the Galileo deals, the level 1 options all around this specific date. That's what I personally think because, they're trying to let the stock get as high as possible with as little news as possible. SoFi right now is the 15th largest bank by market cap in America, but it looks like 13th is coming pretty soon. So look at the top, 10 right here. Bank of New York Mellon 73, US Bancorp 71, Truist 56, State Street 31, M&T 30, and then SoFi was just trading at about 28.3 billion. So as you guys can see, we're very close to moving up another 2 spots, but when it gets really tough is when you get into that top 12. Truist, we're going to need a $20 run after that. I mean, we're going to have to go from 30 to 50, to break through Truist market cap because, they're just such a large company compared to us. It's going to be very, very hard to get into the top 10, but we'll see how things go in Q3 and Q4. All right, guys, we got breaking news. JP Morgan Chase has increased ownership by 10.8%. Total shares 4.7 million. Total value 100 million. Norges Banks opens new position again. These guys have flipped it a couple times. Total shares 9 million. Total value 164 million. Breaking news: UBS Group increased ownership by 41%. Total shares 20 million. Total value 370 million. So these are some massive, massive whales that are buying, as you guys can see. 5, 10, 15, 20 million shares. But this isn't even our top 5 whales. We're going to show you what the top 5 whales are doing next and show you how bullish the sentiment is behind the institutional ownership. And we got one more right here. 2 Sigma increases ownership by 50%. Total shares 14 million, total value 259 million. And breaking news, we have 4 of the top 5 largest whale updates in. Vanguard increased their ownership by 1%, pretty small, but hey, they own 100 million shares now. Jane Street was the big one, increased ownership by 1,200%, 65 million shares owned. They started with 5 million. BlackRock increases ownership by 3%, 48 million shares owned. Geode increases ownership very small by 0.1%. Total shares owned 232 million shares, valued at about $5.4 billion. So this makes up about 20% of the entire, outstanding shares for SoFi just between these 4 whales. Pretty much everybody was increasing. Geo was just basically flat. So this is very bullish for the sentiment behind SoFi. Once again, I believe management team needs to release a massive catalyst to break into the $30, $35, $40 level. It's getting pretty hard with the macro out here. News headlines taking SoFi down every other week. And you guys can see on Hedge Follow right here the dates. June 30th is the updated quarter. So you got June, July, June, 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 June. And there's only 3 left right here at the bottom. Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, and Sequina International. So it looks like the legacy banks are waiting to make their last move before people can see what they're doing. But these 2 analysts both have sell ratings. Both of these companies, Morgan Stanley and Bank of America, both have sell ratings on SoFi right now. So right now we're at 7 out of 10 of the top 10 institutional whales have updated. You can see State Street pull back a little, about 1%, and D.E. Shaw, I didn't get him updated in the previous post, but a 16% sell. Pretty bullish all across the board so far. We just got to wait and see what Morgan Stanley and Bank of America really want to do. That's going to be very interesting. And here's a little post I put out, guys. I said, many haters still don't understand this. SoFi owns a software company that currently grows moderately at 10%. If that growth accelerates to over 25% in 2026, with financial services growth over 80% in 2026, with lending overall revenue percentage declining as an overall percentage of revenue in 2026, SoFi will begin to enter the big boy multiple, which I personally believe will be on the lowest end of all of the top software companies out there at 20 times sales on 4.7 billion revenue in 2026, which would be 30% revenue growth rate. This is a $94 billion company all day long. And here are some of the companies we're talking about. We got Cloudflare right here, 37x sales. AppLovin, 30 times sales. CrowdStrike, 26 times sales. SMPS, 19x sales. And Zscaler, 17x sales. So I believe SoFi is going to be on the lower range if we can see the tech platform really start to accelerate. We're trading at about 8 times sales right now, so that would be a double from here to get to 20 times sales. But as you guys can see with the outstanding shares, and you get that 20 times sales next year on the revenue, this is $74 stock all day if that multiple really starts to wake up. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to say I really do appreciate it. I enjoyed doing this video for you. We're going to continue to keep you updated on all the breaking news with the SoFi stock. Be sure to smash the like button, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have a great day.